Not yet. Not before. Can you hear XR0X? Can you hear me now? No sound. What? That's just. Oh, I know why. Mike. One of these things that I never think it should be on. Can you guys hear me now? Jag17 says hello, C. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, perfect. I probably hit a button when I was changing the thing. So everything's good now. Excellent. I love it, guys. Listen, I wanted to finish up this deep dive because I'm going to do another stream tonight, probably around 9-ish, 9:30. Deep Line Visionaire, I appreciate you being here, my friend. Ralph Rammond is in the building. Alex G, appreciate you hanging back out, man. Jack17 is back. Excellent. So you guys can hear me now. Excellent. Let's finish up this deep dive, man. Dennis Newman. Dennis Newman, you can hear me now. Yes, everything's good. Perfect. Guys, so let me finish up this deep dive into China. I left off. Let me see where I left off. Back, okay, so back to what the Bank of England and the People's Bank of China have been doing, right? So I read this. This is the last part I read. So remember, this is the whole relationship between the China and the UK and how Ripple, the company, and XRP fits in with that, right? So the People's Bank of China, the Bank of England. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta change the view. Let's see. You guys probably like, what is this dude doing? I gotta change the view so you guys can see this. All right, there it is. All right, so now you guys should be able to. There it is. It's a new release. This is 12 November 2018. The People's Bank of China swap line. The People's Bank of China and the Bank of England have today announced that they have signed an agreement to renew existing reciprocal sterling renminbi currency swap line for a further 3 years. The maximum value of the swap line remains unchanged. Right? So commenting, the governor of the Bank of England said that renminbi's role in global trade and capital flows continue to increase. The renewal of this swap line reflects the continued commitment by the Bank of England and the People's Bank of China to support an effective and resilient renminbi market in the city of London. Important statement there, right? An effective and resilient renminbi market in the city of London, leading center for renminbi trading outside of Greater China. Now, who knew that the city of London would be deemed the leading center for renminbi trading outside of Greater China? So just remember that. Remember that for a second. All right, so now let's look at the RMB currency. I know I'm gonna give some more Wikipedia. Don't worry. So the renminbi, according to Wikipedia, simplified Chinese and literally people's currency. A code, the code in financial world is CNY. And also an important thing to remember, CNY. CNI is the official currency of the People's Republic of China and one of the world's major reserve currencies. The yuan, Chinese, is the basic unit of renminbi, but also used to refer to the Chinese currency generally, especially in international contexts where Chinese yuan is widely used to refer to the renminbi. The distinction between the renminbi and yuan is that the renminbi is the name of the currency and yuan refers to its primary unit. One yuan is divided into 10 jiao, and a jiao is in turn there's subdivided in 10 pen. Okay, we need that. So just keep that in mind there, right? That code CNY. The renminbi is sometimes referred to as the redback to the U.S. financial press. Anything important there to remember? So remember that CNY, right? MB CNH market. July of 2019, the authorities lifted restrictions on the renminbi trade settlement between China and Hong Kong. This was the first time RMB settlements were permitted outside of mainland China. Outside of mainland China. Recent years, the authorities have incrementally eased regulations further. They have slowly been easing regulations. This has led to the development of RMB markets in Hong Kong and elsewhere. Parentheses, offshore RMB markets. These exist alongside the RMB market on China. Onshore RMB market, where buying and selling restrictions still apply. Onshore. As a result, there are now two RMB markets. Another important thing. The onshore RMB is the CNY, and the offshore RMB is the CNH market. Onshore RMB is RMB that circulates on mainland China, while offshore RMB is RMB that circulates outside mainland China. These two markets differ according to regulations or market participants, and thus each market has its own exchange rate. And I believe that that's kind of been something that's kind of been argued with other nations. There's different regulations depending upon the market, mainland China or otherwise. So RMB that circulates on mainland China, and then it's RMB that circulates outside of mainland China, like Hong Kong, Singapore, etc. CNH is used as the benchmark for posted rate on Mizuho Bank's website. Currency code. Currency code. This does not mean that there are two different currencies in circulation, namely an onshore RMB and an offshore RMB. It is the currency. CNY is the currency code for RMB assigned by the ISO, International Organization for Standardization. Mizuho Bank uses CNY to denote RMB funded in onshore market and CNH to denote RMB funded in offshore markets. The difference between the onshore CNY and the offshore CNH markets. So onshore, there are buying and selling restrictions. A reference rate is published daily by the People's Bank of China. The reference rate is set without reference to the previous business day exchange. The RMB is only allowed to fluctuate within 2%. Okay, and it's talking about the POC here, mainland China residents, right? So who's the market participants? So the buying and selling restrictions, current exchange system, regulatory authorities, and the market participants. Okay, so just understand there's a CNH and there's a CNY. That's really basically the gist why it's important here for this. Just remember the name, the Mizuho Mizuho Bank. Mizuho. I guess that's Mizuho Bank, huh? It's probably the best way to pronounce that. Don't read, but BIS is this is the the Bank of International Settlements working paper. Okay. Don't read that. Okay. Then in 2016, the IMF comes into play, right around in 2016, right? Right around the time the UK, started thinking about the Brexit move, right? Right, all around the same times, the UK starts thinking about becoming a founding member in the AIIB, right? Chinese yuan joins elite club of IMF reserve currencies. Chinese yuan joins the International Monetary Fund's basket of reserve currencies on Saturday. This was 3 years ago, September 30th, 2016, and a milestone for the government's campaign for recognition as a global economic power. The yuan joins the US dollar, the euro, the yen, and British pound in the IMF special drawing rights basket, which determines currencies that countries can receive as part of IMF loans. It marks the first time a new currency has been added since the euro was launched in 1999. The IMF is adding the yuan, also known as the renminbi or people's money, on the same day that the Communist Party celebrates the founding of the People's Republic of China. The inclusion into the SCR is a milestone in the internationalization of the renminbi and is an affirmation of the success of China's economic development and results of the reform and opening of the financial sector, People's Bank of China said in a statement. Okay, so just remember that with the IMF. And proof the RMB is held. International Monetary Fund, currency composition of foreign official composition of official foreign exchange reserves. I'm not sure why he wanted me to check this out, why he wanted us to check this out. Twitter says there's US dollars, euro, Chinese renminbi, pound sterling, Japanese yen, Australian dollars, Canadian dollars, Swiss francs. So US dollars. So this is just kind of showing that the IMF does hold that in there, right? They are included in that basket on the SDR, the IMF. Also, Swift document, which is good. Really good article. Did I read that already? I've skipped this. Nope, I did not skip it. Really good article. Let's see what it says here. I did not get a chance to go over this last page, guys. So we'll be learning this together. How the yuan could become, how interesting article, right? Thebalance.com. How the yuan could become a global currency. China's plan to replace the US dollar. Interesting. China wants its currency, yuan, to replace the US dollar. You can see how they're talking connected, guys.